Hello guys and welcome to your 17th tip of the week. This one is a tip of the week that I feel that's really important, that I want to get out there to all you 2v2 players, and this is how to be a good teammate. Okay, so how do you be a good teammate? Well, let's get into it straight away. So, here's my list. Number 1, listen to your teammate. I think this is also a very important point. You need to be able to take criticism, you need to be able to take feedback, and you need to be able to communicate well with your teammate. So if your teammate tells you there is something over here that he's worrying about, listen to it. If he's like, oh, I haven't got any AT, then you might want to build some AT. So listen to your teammate is good advice, especially if you know that they're better than you. 2. Learn to use pings. Now, pinging in Company Heroes 2 is so important in team games. It's really easy to do. All you need to learn to do is press Control A. There you go. You can see the mouse changes. Let's try it again. Press Control A to cancel that. So you can go Control A. Mouse changes. You see you've got the little icon here, and then you click anywhere on your screen, and then where you click, there'll be a ping on your mini-map. So you do that. You have a little noise on your minimap, you have an indication there, and you have a big red arrow pointing down that you can't really miss. Now, somehow people still miss this. I mean, I admit that I sometimes miss pings when I'm in the heat of a really intense fight. So what you need to learn to do is you need to go press Control A, and then click again, and then if you want to spam it, you just keep doing it like this. Control A, Control A, Control A. And if you spam it a lot like that, that's bound to get the attention of your teammate. Now, I normally do this when I see my teammate that is about to lose his squad, right? Or that he has not noticed something that's dire. So, you know, I know it might seem bad manners to spam, be like, yo, dude, watch this, watch over here. But, if I was about to lose something, I would really appreciate someone letting me know like this, because this is, like, serious. You got to watch out over here, man. So for like one ping, it's like, okay, there's like, maybe you want to repair, like over here. Repair me, please. That's like, one ping, that's enough. That's like, it's all cool, it's all fine, I'm just letting you know, I would like some repairs over here. Or, I would like healing with like a med truck. Oh, can you pop healing on your, my infantry section? Could I have heals from your infantry section? A little ping there. That's fine. But if you're about to lose something, if you notice your teammate's about to lose something, don't hesitate to spam the pings. Control A. All you do is control. You hold down the control button, then you just press A, click left mouse button. You'll have the game saying you've been pinging too much, but just ignore that. Just keep pinging until they've noticed. And also, as a teammate, or as just a 2v2 player, or a 3v3 player, or 4v4 player, don't get irritated when someone pings you. I've had this quite a few times when I'm playing. In a team game, and I'm like trying to assist my teammate and let him know that there's issues in the way that he's playing, or like there's at the enemy flank or anything like this, and he's like, yo dude, I've got it, I know. When and I have this on like even on my sub days, I've got people saying, oh, I know this is happening. You don't know this is happening. Admit to yourself that you do realize that you have made a mistake. Don't say, because that irritates the person who, he's trying to help you, right? He's trying to inform you of something and trying to help you get better at the game. Don't just turn around and say, I already know that, because you bloody don't know. Because I can see that you're not doing it right. So don't turn around and say to somebody that, that's irritating me, or I know, shut up, I know what I'm doing. Trust me. Don't do that. Just say thanks for the information, and then everybody's happy. He's realized that he needed help, and that'll help, that'll make the other guy who told him he needed help feel good about himself as well, because he's like, oh, I actually did something good for him. And then there's good team morale, good, it builds up morale, and it makes the team work better. Don't be a negative Nancy and be like, oh, I already knew that was happening. So there's another point. Coordinate attacks. So let's say you're ready to go. Your armies are both up and ready to rock and roll. You've got, you see maybe an enemy King Tiger, right? And it just hit, got a damaged engine and hit one of your mines. Ping that on the map first of all. Let your teammate know it's there and be like, right, have you got anything to kill that with? and then try and coordinate an attack from maybe 2 angles. So like on this side, I've got a Soviet teammate. He comes around with his T-34s over here. I rush around with my Cromwells around the back, and then we sandwich the guy together. Now, if we go in and attack separately, we're going to have a less of a chance to kill it, obviously, right? So try and coordinate, and this is just one example, but try as best as you can to coordinate attacks. If you say, I'm going to, let's go, for instance, on Moscow outskirts, a lot of the time, people, when you play 2s on this map, you're either right, I'm going to go mid and left, or we're going to go mid and right. And other times, people just go, I'm going to go left, and you can go right. And then we just try and hold it. Now, a lot of the times in these team games, people will just do their own thing and go off on their own. Now, if you ever have a teammate that does his own thing and doesn't listen to good strategy, all right, let's conquer left and mid, and he does his own thing. Unfortunately, you're going to have to go stick with that guy, because obviously you're better grouped up together than you're not if you were alone. So if you notice that he's annoying you and deciding to go right and mid, and you said left and mid, go right and try and go mid and try and hold that down. Because if you try and split up, it's not going to work out so well. So try and coordinate your attacks if possible. And even if you've got a retarded teammate, excuse me for my language, but it's true, then just try your best to try and coordinate. Even if he doesn't listen, at least you could be the one doing the right thing. Okay. So, another thing you could do is build caches. That's a very important thing. So a lot of people in team games, especially if you're an austere guy and you have an OKW teammate, OKW do not have the capacity to build caches. They would greatly appreciate it. I know I would when I'm playing OKW, that if you, as an austere player, build caches. And also, before you build a cache, you could just type to your teammate, if you're not on comms with each other, like on TeamSpeak or whatever, or Discord. You could just be like, hey man, or really, like, do you need fuel or ammo? Do you need fuel or ammo? And you just type that in quick. When you can easily type that down. There's always going to be a state in the game where you can have time to type that into chat. Where you retreat your units back to battle and everyone's getting reinforced. Then you could just type that, and then he'll know that he'll appreciate that, one, because that you're trying to show you care, and two, that helps both of you out as well. So you both get ammo, you both get fuel, and for instance, you might have a ton of fuel, but your teammate might not. And fuel, you can't really ever go wrong with getting too much fuel. But sometimes it's probably have more ammo than fuel, because of both you can spam mines constantly, whereas you will get pop capped with fuel, and then having a fuel bank isn't the best. So try and decide what is best for you. Is your teammate trying to save it for a King Tiger? Then you might want to get him some extra fuel. Say if you're for instance, the austere commander. Let's have a look. So you're austere. Kurahi's asking for a game right now. 1 minute. Let me just. Here we go. Supply drop zone. So let's say you're an austere commander. You have the supply drop zone. Oh, it doesn't show up for some reason. Okay, but you get what I mean. So you could be like, okay, so I am an austere opponent. I might not have enough. We might have built caches on all points. And I've still got excess manpower. What can I do with that excess manpower? And I'm pop capped as well. You could drop that supply drop ability from the Ostrupen commander, for instance, and you can put it on the fuel cache, on a fuel point, or a ammo point. So yeah, the ammo point or the fuel point, and you can let your teammate know if he needs the resources that I'm dropping resources here, and he can go pick it up. Make sure also whenever you do that supply drop ability, that the area is absolutely secure. Don't drop it. Like, for instance, let's say you dropped it here and the enemy has control of this point and this point. That's quite risky, because you haven't got any line of sight over here, and he might be rushing in to try and capture your fuel point, and then you drop the fuel. So the best thing to do is make sure that you've got a really good secure lockdown of the fuel point. And by this I mean that you've got these points captured, you know what's going on over here, and then you've got plenty of time to cap all this up, and also like mine up some rope, maybe have an MG facing down this way, or facing down this way if you're north, so that your opponent can't rush in and steal that fuel drop off you, or the ammo drop, same thing over here. Right. Excuse me. Yeah, and also another thing, another point: repair damaged vehicles. If you see your teammates' vehicles damaged, repair them. If you got sappers nearby, repairing them is a great way to help your teammate out, and he will most likely return the favor as well. He sees that you're trying to help him out, and then whenever he'll like feel like he's in debt as well. So then he might have to feel like he's going to have to repay your tanks to to make things even. All right. So I know I would if I felt my vehicles got repaired and I didn't repair my teammates, I'd feel a bit bad. So try and get into the habit of whenever you see a teammate's vehicle in need of repairs or something like that, or if you're a teammate, even though you've got an infantry section nearby and you see like a Maxim that's weak, rush over there, pop the heals. And also as a teammate, so imagine if you had a British teammate and you were a Soviet, ask your teammate, could you bring over your infantry section and heal my Maxim over here, please? So also another thing is alert your teammate to enemy flanks or new units that you encounter. So let's say you hear a Panther's engine through the fog of war. Immediately alert your teammate. Ping to the location that you think it is, that you think the Panther's at, and then type in chat, Panther, I think. Even if you're not sure of it, just type it, because that will get him, up to speed with what might be on the field. And it's always better safe than sorry, just to make sure that you know what's on the field, and therefore you give your teammate enough time to prepare for it. If you just let him stumble upon the Panther or maybe a King Tiger, whatever new unit that's hit the field himself, then that he could be at a serious disadvantage. For instance, let's say a sniper came onto the field as austere, and my teammate didn't let me know about it, and I was trying to snipe away on the right, and then I get sniped, and I'm like, yo, dude, didn't you tell me there was an austere sniper on the field? I was like, oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to mention that. That shit's annoying. So if you guys could mention that stuff, please do it. As soon as you see like specific units, if there's a grenadier or then you maybe not need because there's grenadiers normally all the time, right, in a game, or a Volk, right? But if you see like an MG camping a building, ping it. Right, there's an MG camp in the building here. Even if your teammate can't deal with it at the time, he might be able to get a unit out in the near future that could potentially deal with it. So let's say it was a Vickers camp in that building and I was austere. My team was like, right, there's a really annoying Vickers in this building. I'll be like, all right, okay, I'm going to get a flamethrower half track out and I'll deal with that stuff. You focus on AT. That's kind of good. That's good coordination, good teammate, and that would be a good thing to do. And the same thing with a sniper or a King Tiger, just let your teammate know that these things exist so we both can prepare for it. If it happens as a surprise, it's gonna hurt, and it happens. This has happened plenty of times in team games. So get into the habit. As soon as you see a new unit that has a really big impact on the game, like an MG, like a sniper, like a King Tiger or Panther, or any kind of tank, let your teammate know. Okay, and any flanks as well. Even if it's grenadiers or whatever. If you see a big push around the left-hand side, you see maybe an enemy movement pushing the left-hand side, ping it yo, big blob over here, or blob type blob in chat, and then ping, and then he's immediately alerted to that, or a tank push, or you could say I'm getting double teamed is also a very good one to say in the early game. So that happens a lot. So let's say I decided to focus left-hand side and I see both players here. An easy way to tell there's both players here is to make sure that in the options settings that you have the color scheme set. Let's have a look here. So show a color player on you want. If I had it off and did accept, now resume, you can see that both these guys, Axis players, turn red. So it's a little bit hard to differentiate between the two factions, and this would be even more so difficult if both enemies were the same faction, right? So make sure that you have show color player on. That's very important as well. So have that on, and then look, he turns back to purple, so you can clearly see there's a difference between both factions. So then you could be like, I'm getting double teamed here. Easily, you can easily even look at your mini map and say, you might see a red dot and a pink dot, and you'll be like, right, both of them are over here. And then your teammate will be like, okay, I can quickly cap up my side, and then I can go help my teammate. or I can quickly rush over to the left-hand side and help my teammate now. Now, the best, if you ever find yourself in that situation where where your teammate is being double teamed, don't completely abandon the side that you're capping, but leave one unit, like for instance if you're OKW, let your Kubel cap up that right hand side and assist with your Volks and Stern Pioneers on the left if you need to, or if you're Brits, get a Sapper squad or even one infantry section to cap up the right, send your MG and your other infantry section to the left and help your teammate. So yeah, and if you're the person that is a 2v2 teammate and you're getting double teamed, don't quit the game immediately. I've had this plenty of times in team games where my teammate has been like, oh, my teammate isn't helping me out, I'm gonna quit straight away. That shit is also very annoying. Getting double teamed happens. Deal with it. Just recognize it. Try and hold your ground. Best way to hold your ground against being double teamed is to stick in buildings. So let's say you were getting double teamed and you were left hand side, or like, no, let's say, yeah, you were north here. Let's say you were the axis here. We had this building, and we had like infantry sections and Maxims pushing in here to grab my cutoff. Best thing to do is get an MG in that building, lock it down, and just try and hold your ground. Even if you're not doing well in terms of capping territory on your side, you're occupying most of their units. So that means your teammate can go capture the right hand side. And then you will be in the lead because your teammate's captured all the side. Then as soon as he's captured all those points, he's going to come over and help. Hopefully. Most times that they will do. But make sure that you are trying to stall. Don't quit straight away as soon as you get double teamed and think like your teammate isn't caring. They are caring. They need to cap the territory of the map as well. But just let him know that you are being double teamed, because that, will let him know that he can cap his side quite quickly and that he can now quickly switch over to help you out. That is very important. Let him know, or she, sorry for being a bit sexist there, I don't mean to, that's happening, okay? Alright, what else we got? Also, check what your teammate has got. Right, that's another good point. So let's go, you start a game off, right? And you could be like, yo, teammate, what command are you going today? What build order? Normally you can just tell, like, here, our Soviet player's gone tier 1. So this means he's not going to have any AT guns early game. So you might be the one that he relies on for AT. So if you see this and you think, okay, so maybe I need to rush out an AEC quickly or get an AT gun first because my teammate relaxes his gun capability. You can't build one, right? So recognize that from the get-go. If you're both OKW and you start off, which I don't recommend ever going double OKW in team games. It just doesn't work because you need the special capabilities. Pack guns are a lot better than Raketans. Snipers are so important to counter snipe. You can't counter snipe as OKW in general, but that's a story for another day. Basically, don't go double OKW. I've said on my stream countless times the reasons for this, but yeah. So we want. So if you see, like, your Oster teammate skips tier 1, he's not going to have Faust capabilities. So you need to be able to be maybe near his sniper with a Volks Grenadier, so so you can Faust, and he might not be able to. Oh, if he's a sniper, he'll have tier 1. But you get what I mean, right? Maybe he has an MG out and it's getting flanked by an M3. You might need a Volk nearby to Faust that, so the M3 can't get away. So try and see that. Ask your teammate what kind of strategy going, and commander as well. So let's say you're in a big team game, like a 4v4 or something. One of you needs to go for a Jagdtiger, or one of you needs to probably go for a long-range tank that can kill stuff from afar, or one of you needs to have like an LEFH or recon or that kind of stuff. So decide that early. Make sure that you've got that under control. One of the worst things that can happen is like you both, multiple guys pick the same commander. You're not going to get most use out of that. So make sure that you try and get a variety of commanders. And that would be very good. For 3v3, 4v4 and 2v2, just in general, it's always good but to have a set of commanders where one of you has recon and the other one has an off-map artillery ability. Now, why do I say this? It's because one of you, most commanders don't ever have recon and the off-map ability straight away, and the ones that do are pretty crap. So, let's say, I was, like for instance, I always go Ostrupen because Ostrupen are amazing. Got a troop in the Ostrupen, right? So, And I don't have recon, but what I do have is railway artillery, which will wreck face, basically. Okay, so and you're dealing, let's say your opponent as Soviets or maybe as Brits is using land mattresses or ML20 howitzers or a B4. You let your teammate know if he's OKW, he might have gone the command, the OKW command that has the flare ability, right? So ask him, drop a flare here, and then you can railway it. Perfect coordination. Or if let's another situation, you're the Americans and your teammate is Soviets and has an IL-2 bombing strike. Use your major to pop a recon anywhere in the middle of the map, because the recon will cover a lot of the, a big portion of the map. You don't need your commander, your major, to be on to recon the exact location of the howitzer or the LEFH that might be firing at you. Just recon, like let's say you got your major. Right? Let me give you an example here. So we get your US forces, infantry, major, right? Okay. And let's turn the fog of war off. Fog of war off. Okay. So let's just say we did, let's say the LEFH was here. All we needed to do is recon like to here. Okay, and now the plane will come along. And as you can see, it will reveal all of this location over here. And this is plenty of time you've got with that recon run for your teammate, who, if you're British or Soviet or whatever, to drop off map artillery on that said point and annihilate whatever problem you're dealing with. So that's a very useful thing, because it doesn't matter what command you go yourself, you'll always have major recon, which is great. So don't ever forget to utilize this ability. If you're ever fine, because a lot of people, what I find is with the major, they just leave the major sitting around on forward retreat with their med truck and then never move it or use it. And the major has some nice useful abilities like that recon ability, and also with the rapid barrage. Oh, this tea is lovely. Oh, that feels good. Right. So yeah, so try and utilize, coordinate commander abilities and stuff like that as well. For instance, another thing you could do, encirclement commander for Ostia is very nice. You go in from, you cap out these territories and stuff. You might be able to coordinate with maybe OKW teammate, right? So OKW teammate might jump out of a house on the right hand side, decap this point. Then I might decap this point with maybe a stormtrooper squad. Then I'll pop the encirclement ability so that everything that got disconnected in enemy territory gets annihilated. That is always very good in team games. Try if you could coordinate that with a teammate to make sure you can cut off territory simultaneously. That would be beautiful. I've yet to see this happen where teammates coordinate encirclement very well. It's normally just the encirclement guy calling in stormtroopers to disconnect a point, but it could look a lot better. Say if you've gone like you got Fallschirmjägers, or you've got Jaeger commander as Scavenge commander as OKW. You can call in those units to disconnect territories and stuff as well. So that's always good. And again, like remember when I said when you see like an austere sniper on the field, for instance. Let your teammate, because he might have enough CPs to call it infiltration commandos or infiltration partisans, and you can jump in the back of the house and quickly run around the back and take it out. So never underestimate the capabilities of your teammate. He might be able to deal with that new unit then and there, and all you need to do is let him know it exists. It's simple as that. It really is. What else we got here? So check what your teammate lacks. I think we've just gone through that. So if you see he's gone tier 1, make sure he's, you build the AT gun for him if he hasn't got it, or that kind of thing, or let him know that you do need some AT capabilities. Don't ever expect, this is one thing, don't ever expect your teammate to carry you for AT or anti-infantry purposes. You need both, right? In the early game, fine. You can go like specialized penals and M3s and wreck infantry. But you definitely need to have a backup plan. You need guards, or you need to go back tech for a Ziz gun, or you need to rush tech to tier 3 and get a T-70 out. If you don't have that AT capability, you're going to be struggling. And then don't go to your teammates and like, dude, I was focusing on anti-infantry, you should have gone AT fully. Don't. That is a bad play style. Please never do that. Make sure you have, I always say, combined arms is the best form that you could just do in Company Heroes. So make sure like a Maxim support with a Ziz gun support with conscripts with an AT grenade. That is like a perfect unison of arms, that kind of, and then maybe a tank as well. There's, you know, with that mix with Brits, sappers, mine plants, infantry section, Vickers, AT gun, and sniper, and then a Cromwell. Oh, perfect combined arms. Make sure you try and get that that build if you can. You know, you can definitely play Soviets without needing tier 2, right, with the AT gun, but make sure that you do have some kind of long-range AT, like either an SU-76 or an SU-85, or even an ISU-152. But really, don't, you know, if you say, don't ever say just go for the ISU and then don't build any other AT. You definitely need an SU-76 in between that, or something like that. So don't ever rely fully on your teammate for one thing or the other. You need to have combined arms yourself. Right, what else we got here? Enemy on retreat teammate could potentially wipe it. Yeah. So if you see a enemy unit that is retreating back, let's say stormtroopers try to be sneaky and take out your Katusha, right? And he failed, but then you managed to retreat him, and he's being forced all the way back here, and your teammate is sitting here with maybe like a couple of rifles. Tell him, like, dude, there's a stormtrooper retreating back. Like, yeah, this would be an instance where you would panic ping, where you'd be like, yo, dude, quick, over here, get over there, rush over there, you could kill it. Get over there, because you might get a Shrek drop as well on top of wiping the squad, which is amazing, especially for a rifleman squad or whatever. You know, any squad, a Shrek is gold dust pretty much. So let your teammate know, you know that you could potentially get a wipe whenever you think you could. You know, you alert your teammate, even if like he's got no units nearby. Be like, yo, there's a weak unit retreating back here. He might have an artillery piece. Again, he might have infiltration commanders that he could drop out in this house and quickly run around and kill the squad. Don't ever think that, oh, that squad's home and dry and I can't possibly kill it. Your teammate might have the capabilities to take it out. So don't ever forget to let your teammate know about things like this. Okay, right. What else? Now, this might seem a bit arrogant, I know, but I'm going to say it anyway. Recognize who the better player is. Okay? Now, this is a bit harsh, but logical as well. So when I say recognize who the player is, so if you are the better player, you're the one who's supposed to be trying to carry, micro well, and do this kind of stuff, right? If you recognize that you're the weaker player, and that you're not good at microing and stuff, you know, you could still do very well. What you can do is do the chore tasks, like build caches. Like, your teammates' manpower would be a lot better invested into units that you know he can micro well, rather than putting manpower investment into caches that won't do anything. You know, he can't micro. So if you're a teammate who you know that you're not very good, you know, you can still do very well and help your teammate, you know, to succeed by doing stuff like build those caches before he can, repair his stuff. Make sure you specialize in engineers or something so you can repair his things, that or her things, that kind of stuff. Or you know, like demos, easy things like, you know, demoing a house, mining up. You know, it doesn't take a genius to do like a couple of things like this, like wiring. So just, I know it sounds harsh, but it's, you know, it works. It really works, because, you know, in Company Heroes 2, you know, microing is quite difficult, and you need to realize if you are capable of it or not. I mean, you might be at the stage that you are getting better at your micro, but you know, you must resign yourself to the fact that you know, and be honest with yourself. Who is the better player? What can I be doing better to help the teammate, my teammate, and you know, try and do those kinds of things. Because I agree, you know, greatly appreciate it more if I see somebody who recognizes that and, you know, tries their hardest to help me help them, right? Does that make sense? So, like, if they're helping me by repairing my stuff, by rebuilding caches, then that's helping me help them as well, because I have my tanks already faster repaired, so I can get in the fight again quicker, and that kind of thing. So caches, repairing, healing, fuel drops, AC gun drops, anything that could potentially help swing the tide in our favour, that would be great. So that is a very good point. Recognize who is the better player and fulfill the role that you think you should fulfill. If you're the better player, then, you know, but be honest with yourself. I mean, both of you might be equal skill level, so then you probably don't need to feel like you need to perform the chore role as much. You can share that role. One of you build a cache and the other one could build a cache maybe a couple minutes later, that kind of stuff. But try and recognize what type of player you are and fulfill the role. I think that's logical and sound advice. Sorry if it sounds harsh, but it's, if you want to win, that's what you want to do, really, to be honest. All right. And I think that is pretty much it. I can't think of anything else. Just just to sum up, coordinate your attacks. Let your teammate know whenever anything is happening. Build caches, repair stuff. Type, pinging. Please ping. Oh my god. Really, like, if I had to give one message in this game, to take one thing away, guys, Control A, left mouse click, hold down the control button, press A, left mouse click, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Learn that, and if you do that, I would be super happy. Thank you for watching. Have a nice one, guys. I'll do another tip of the week session soon, and yeah. But I really wanted to get this one done. This one is, I play a lot of team games, and there's so many people that don't do these simple things, which drive me insane. So please take some advice away from this, guys. Please. Restore my faith in the CoH2 community. Alright, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.